Historic Hope is a plantation house that was built by David Stone. David Stone was an active politician in North Carolina. He became governor of the state, and he built the Hope Mansion some between 1800 and 1802. About 1802, we think it was completed. He lived in Raleigh a good part of his life, early life. Once he lived in owned a plantation there called Restdale, and he actually died there at Restdale. He died in 1818 in his 40s years, when he was only about 40 years old. And the plantation property itself moved out of the Stone family in the 1830s when it was sold. Now the plantation house fell into considerable disrepair, and there we have some pictures of it beforehand. I can remember as a young man looking at it, and I think we had one person, one of the restoration specialists from Raleigh, said that hope is hopeless, and I think it looked like that at that point in time. But a group of dedicated men and women in Bertie County came together, and they purchased the property in 1965. Restoration began shortly after that, and it first opened to the public in 1972. Restoration continued. We have in it in fact, the finest collection of Roanoke River Valley furniture anywhere at all. We also here on the site have another nice home that was built in 1762. Is the King Bazemore House, and it was moved here from about 3 miles north, and that's also open to the public. We have on the site restored early 19th century post-in-the-ground barn, and around each of the buildings, the King Bazemore House and the Hope Mansion, you will see smokehouses, restrooms for the public, which are of course new, and then you'll see a restored dairy and kitchen up at the mansion itself. So the grounds and the buildings are available for parties, weddings, birthdays, various events that we have here. We are a nonprofit. We depend entirely on contributions and small grants that we get from Bertie County as well as the town of Windsor. Our monies come from memberships and visitations, and we do get some endowments that'll give us an income during the year. When our visitors come, this is the Roanoke Chowan Heritage Center that we're in right now. And in here that we bring visitors in, and we have our multicultural room, which is a room which we highlight the cultural diversity of Bertie County and the region. And we have a very nice collection of Native American artifacts. We have a section that's set aside for the European settlers, and another one for the African Americans who came later. We also have another meeting room in here in which we use for groups that come in. It has also a number of items that are of interest. We have in there very large salt trough. As you know, they would salt meat in those days to preserve it. We have a number of paintings by artists. And then when visitors come, we have a short, about 10-minute film that highlights Historic Hope and Governor Stone and the restoration itself. The tour would begin here. Then they typically will go to the King Bazemore House, which is the 1762 house, and go through it, and then they will go to the mansion. And when they get to the mansion, the tour guides vary a little bit as to exactly where they go. They'll learn a little bit about the history of the place. Governor Stone's father's house was on the site there at one time. But you enter through the basement, and in the basement we have a reconstructed slave cabin, or what we thought might have been a slave cabin. We do not have any buildings on the site that were used as slave cabins. But we talk about the enslaved people that worked here and the things that they did, many of which were very skilled. And these are the people that were the artisans that did things. They were the people that made the shoes. They were the leather craftsmen. They were the people that did this. And we go through that and talk about the skills that they brought to the plantation. I would like to see us increase the number of visitors here. We have a very unique site. Our visitors, in some years, we have had visitors from every state in the Union. Typically, we'll have visitors from 35 to 40 states that will come here. And we need to do a better job, I think, of advertising, not only regionally, as well as nationally, to get people to come here and see. Once they get here, we get this here all the time. We didn't know Bertie County had anything like this. We'd like to get more people in. We have a Christmas open house, which will be the first Sunday in December every year. And we typically bring anywhere from 350 to 600 people here. And I would say 75% of those are from outside of the county. They come from Raleigh, they come from Norfolk, Greenville. We are open to the public 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, from 10 to 4. We are closed to the public on January, February, and March. However, if someone would like to schedule a tour at any time, as long as there are 4 more people, we'll be glad to schedule that for you.